My name is Erin Colvin, and today I'm doing my biography speech on Sir Paul McCartney. I decided to do the speech on Sir Paul McCartney because in 2011 I went to see him in concert in Detroit and fell more in love with his music than I already was and, and found him to be very interesting. During his concert, he told many stories about his time being with the Beatles and with many other musicians. So I decided to learn more about him. He was born James Paul McCartney on June 18, 1942 in Liverpool, England. As a child, he learned many instruments, including the trumpet, guitar, and the piano. And during the span of his life, he learned to play over 40 other different instruments. He started writing songs at the age of 16 years old in hopes that Frank Sinatra would buy one of his songs. In 1957, he met John Lennon and history was made. In 1960, John and Paul started the Beatles. The Beatles consisted of Paul McCartney, John Lennon, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. Some of the songs that were written by Paul McCartney while being with the Beatles were Yesterday, which is the most popular song in history, Hey Jude, Let It Be, and the first song that he played with the Beatles was I Want to Hold Your Hand, which he and John Lennon played during a jam session on the piano one night. While with the Beatles, they made 12 studio albums. The band broke up in 1970. After the Beatles, Paul McCartney went on to do his own solo career. He formed the band Wings, and they played one of my favorite songs, Band on the Run. He's collaborated with many other musicians that include Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Elvis Costello, and even Kanye West. In 1980, his friend and bandmate John Lennon was murdered by a fan. After that, Paul McCartney did not tour for 10 years because he was afraid that he would be the next one killed. In his personal life, Paul McCartney married his first wife, Linda, in 1969. She was his muse and the love of his life, and she helped him write many of his songs. Together, they had 4 children. Unfortunately, in 1998, Linda died after a long battle with breast cancer. In 2002, Paul McCartney married Heather Mills, and she was a disabled model. While he was married to Heather, they had one daughter. Her name was Beatrice Millie McCartney. Unfortunately, they divorced after only 4 years of marriage. In 2011, Paul McCartney married Nancy Cheval. They are currently still married. In 1997, Paul McCartney was knighted by the Queen of England for his service to music. Some other facts that I found about Sir Paul McCartney interesting were that he's involved in many charities. He fights for animal rights. He's an anti-landmine activist, and he does other humanitarian charities. He also does charity concerts where all the money that goes to those concerts go towards his charities. In the year 2000, he released an album called Garland for Linda in tribute to his late wife, Linda McCartney. All the proceeds that he got from those album sales were raised to aid cancer survivors. He has also spent 10 days in a Japanese prison. for marijuana possession. He became very depressed about this and stayed out of the spotlight for a long time after that. On September 11th, 2001, he witnessed the attacks on the World Trade Center from his plane sitting on a tarmac at the airport. After that, he started a concert to help pay for the victims of that attack. The guitar that he played when he met John Lennon sold at an auction for over $600,000. He played a concert with Bruce Springsteen that went on so long that the event coordinator had to turn off their microphones. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the year 1999 as a solo artist. He's received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in the year 2012. And his future project is that he has a part in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie that comes out in 2017. I find Sir Paul McCartney to be a very interesting individual, and I hope you did too. Thank you. Bye.